Strap your boots in, guys, because we're going to be covering Palantir today, and you gotta be flipping my flapjacks that this stock is at this price, and I'm a little bit concerned because Palantir is reporting earnings tomorrow, May 11th. Keep in mind, I'm recording this video May 10th of 2021, so earnings are tomorrow morning before the market opens, and Palantir had a yikesies day. But before we cover the daily, weekly, monthly time frame on Palantir, if you can, drop a like down on this video, hit that subscribe button, make sure that you ring that bell. Really does help me out with the YouTube algorithm. But let's cover this ugly chart. Like, it's all I can do is just sigh. It's all I can do. So we did have a gap down here this morning. I'm really not surprised by this because if we do take a look at the broader overall market, S&P 500, Dow Jones, and NASDAQ were all down on the day. And a lot of people are worried about inflation, inflation, inflation. So the immediate first thing that gets hit with essentially the shorts and sell-offs is all the tech and high growth stocks. So if we take a look here, QQQ, 2.53% down. So QQQ is the tech indices of NASDAQ. So keep that in mind. So does it surprise me that Palantir is negative for the day? No. Does it surprise me that it's negative 6.48%? Yes. However, Wall Street is heavily betting on the fact that this stock is going to have a bad earnings report. So keep that in mind. I am not playing Palantir through earnings at all. No, thank you. I'm not going anywhere near it. If anything, tomorrow when they report earnings and they miss earnings and the stock goes down to $15, I'm going to buy the dip, baby, because Palantir at $15, sign me up. Like, this company, I'm not investing it for the short term. I'm investing it for the long term, and they are going to have positive equity. From what I've understood, I think it's positive equity by 2022, and they are going to become profitable, which is huge in 2022. That is their time frame that they're looking at. And Palantir is leaning really far forward with data analytics and AI, pretty much put them together. And that's the reason why you see the government have a lot of contracts with them. They do have some contracts also with commercial side, but a lot of it, pretty much 1/3 to 2/3 is government versus commercial. So keep that in mind. Let's cover this ugly chart. So we did have a gap down because once again, the whole market pretty much negative. Anything coming in the day that was positive pretty much turned red very quickly. And Palantir just sold off. Now, the thing that I really want to do is I'm going to hop out here to the day time frame. And Palantir IPO'd last year on March 3rd. No, September 30th. On September 30th was the first candle that we have here. And then we have this huge rip up, this just insane rip up all the way to what is this candle top at? $33, and it closed around $30. Now, the thing that I really want to cover here is from a technical perspective, when I take a look at this, what I immediately see is what's called a head and shoulders pattern. So think about it this way. You have one shoulder, you have a head, and then you have another shoulder. So one shoulder being here, the head being up here, and the shoulder being here. Now, the fact this is a inverted head and a right side up, not inverted, a right side up head and shoulders pattern is a bearish indicator for the stock. And the huge thing is this isn't good for the stock because when we take a look here, we do not have many supports to go off of because when the stock IPO'd and then just absolutely ripped, it didn't really give us many points to go off of from the day time frame. So once we get really past this, what is this point? $19. So the fact that we closed in $18.47 and now we're down to $18 in the after hours, we're really struggling to find any technical support that we can bounce off of. The stock is, I don't want to say it, but I believe it's essentially going to be in a free fall until around $15 or $16, and then maybe it might find ground there. Maybe. Like, this is not good for Palantir. On the day chart for the max time frame, we're sitting at oversold. We're sitting at 2734. Oversold on the RSI. We have a bearish indicator on this day time frame. We have the 60-day moving average hooking in towards the 15-day moving average. So if the 60-day moving average crosses over the 15-day moving average on the day time frame, it's going to only give us a further bearish confirmation of this stock. Now, I do want to say with Palantir reporting their earnings tomorrow, Wall Street is, like I said, heavily betting that they are not going to do well, and the stock could very well quickly see $15. They're pricing in an 11.2% move either to the upside or to the downside. So keep that in mind. 11% from 1808 right now. If we take that, we're going to be looking at plus or minus, let's say $2 to the upside and to the downside. So we could possibly be looking at $16 Palantir tomorrow, or we could be looking at $20 Palantir tomorrow. But really, just taking a look at this chart, we can't really do technical analysis because a lot of the supports are just not there. Really, the last support that I could say as a really good, strong support was sitting there at 1888, and we just right through it. We did break through it and claim it as support for a little bit of today. So I'm proud of us for that. But we did break back through it, and then we were rejected through it when we tried to regain it again later in the day, which definitely shows the bears are in control of this stock. 5-day, 5-minute chart, the RSI sitting here 3181. We definitely have a bear. Yep. No, we actually have a bullish MACD headed into the after hours, which is very interesting. So maybe it's a glimmer of hope, because right now everything 1 hour chart, if we do this, bearish, oversold here on the 1 hour chart. Like you can just see Palantir is literally just sold off. And this is just every single tech and growth stock right now is literally just gone through these sell-off periods. And apparently it's Palantir's turn. We have the 15-day moving average below the 60-day moving average, well below the 20-day moving average. 200-day exponential moving average is sitting at 2148. The 60-day moving average is sitting at essentially $20, and the 15-day moving average is sitting at 1872, which is just not good. And we're trading below that. So definitely very bearish territory across the whole entire board. Palantir is expected, like I said, to report the earnings tomorrow. Hopefully they do have positive earnings, because this stock absolutely needs to get up and just get back above $20. Really hope it does. But when we take a look here at the options chain, this options chain is for this week, expiring May 14th, which is this Friday. Just to get an idea of where we're taking a look here at options contracts. So we have 15,000 and 14,000 open interest puts at the 1950 strike and the $20 strike. We do have 11,000 open interest contracts at the $24 strike, 12, almost 13,000 at 22. So it definitely seems that puts are definitely going to be outweighing puts are going to be outweighing calls for this week. If we hop out the next week's time frame, let's just take a look at this. 1850 and $9 and $19, 16,000 and 15,000 open interest contracts. That's absolutely huge. That's a lot of short interest. And if we dip below $18, we put another 12,403 and then another 11,172 at 1750. This is huge. So the short interest for Palantir, the shorts are definitely absolutely hammering on this stock. We do have 54,852 open interest contracts at the $25 strike for the call side. But just seeing how stacked, like 31,000 at $20 for next week, that's a lot of open interest. And this just tells me that Wall Street is really betting that this stock is going to go down. And in the short term, it may go down, but this is a perfect dip buying opportunity, because guess what? Not too long ago were we trading at $24. We were trading at $24 back on the 26th of April. So could you hold the stock and possibly see $24 in a short-term period, and you might have to swing it for a couple months? Yeah, you might have to swing it for a couple months. However, this is the perfect dip buying opportunity. Like we're approaching IPO prices when we hop out here on the day time frame. Like this is insane. Like maybe IPO'd at what? This candle opened at $0, so it closed at $10. So $10, it closed out on IPO day. We're sitting at about $8 above that. So you gotta like, I'm not a financial advisor, guys. This isn't financial advice, but in my personal opinion, this is the time that you buy stocks. Like, this isn't the time that you sit on your hands and you just watch your portfolio bleed. This is when you buy the dip. And when you buy the dip, and when tech and growth comes back, because I'm going to tell you right now, tech and growth is going to come back. It's being heavily beat down right now because everyone's concerned about inflation. Everyone has those fears. So tech and growth are the first stocks that feel that effect. But when we see inflation go away in the August, September, October timeframe, we're going to see these stocks just quickly just start going up and up and up and up and up. And what better feeling would it give you to know that you bought the dip when it's really painful and you're seeing the return? Because you got to keep in mind, investing is for the long term. This is not for the short term, guys. This is really meant to be a long term thing. But if you guys have any questions or anything like that and made it this far in the video, do me a favor, drop a comment down below, hit that subscribe button, make sure that you ring that bell, and for turning notifications on, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.